Hello, my lovely. You got to where you are by flying the plane while you were building it. You may have a VA or a small team, but you still feel invisible and have this small voice way down in the back of your mind that says, "Who the fuck do you think you are to do blank?" You also know that the women changing the effing world have never been the ones who are busy trying to fit in. So if you're listening to this podcast, it's because some part of you already knows that what got you to this point is not going to get you to where you're going next. You also may be raw dogging accidental success, trying to force your technicolor brain into strategies built for people who don't have wiring like yours. And you are so done building a business where you abandon yourself and your nervous system in the fucking process. You are allowed to stay a feral woman and run a calm business. And maybe for the first time since ADHD came onto your radar or your diagnosis, you are finally starting to realize that who you are was not the thing standing in your way of business growth. The problem has been strategies that came from the normie business coaching industry instead of how your brain works. You need a simplified business plan, the self-trust to execute it, and to get the support of a coach who gets your brain the nuance of business growth for ADHD humans and how it all marries together. Hi. That's me. You need to stop rebuilding your entire offer suite every 6 months because you're secretly terrified you can't keep repeating or sustain your current revenue. You do not need to become quieter, smaller, more polished, less emotional, less ambitious, less intense, less weird, more digestible to be successful. You need to trust yourself enough to build differently because your unrepeatable stack of genius is how you stand out in a fucking sea of sameness. And to be clear, your ADHD ass, hyper focusing, pattern recognizing, deeply feeling, and never stop thinking brain is your unfair fucking advantage. If this intro has you nodding along, good. That means you found your people. Welcome to my cult. We have stickers. One final thing. Becoming visible and growing sustainably means no more Miss People Pleaser, no more hiding your Ferrari brain, no more dimming down jack shit. And if you've ever been told to tone it down as a woman with late diagnosed ADHD, it is time to tone your shit all the way the fuck back up to an 11. Because that, my sweet baby angel, is how you create unstoppable momentum in your business, gain new clients, visibility, and do whatever the fuck you put your mind to. You are not born to be forgettable. And as one of my favorite quotes says, well-behaved women rarely make history, and nothing about you or me is well-behaved, at least not anymore. In today's episode, I am bringing part 3 of my Calm and Clear marketing series, and we are going to talk about one of the most underrated, unflashy business sustainability channels, how to make fuck you money, but done in a feral way. I'm not talking about cold DMs or bro marketing or even ads. I am going to tell you exactly what I do, which is built into who I am by nature. And it's likely built into you in some way, shape, or form as well, which you can start doing today to lock in even more sustainability. Welcome back to the ADHD Entrepreneur, the podcast for female founders in coaching diagnosed with ADHD midlife who refuse to play by the fucking rules. I just recorded episode 200. Oh my gosh. It's going to be so freaking good. No, I'm not telling you what it is. You're going to have to come back next week and listen. It's really good. We're not made to play by the rules. Now that you're listening, you're part of my cult. We have stickers, and I'm not kidding. We actually have stickers. I am Karrie. I am your host. I am the chief weirdo of Karrie Out Loud. I have been called the fairy godmother to all women with ADHD. That's from favorite from a client of mine. And I'm living proof that you can be a feral woman and still run a calm business because those two things are not mutually exclusive. If you're new here, I sure fucking hope you stay. It gets weirder in the best way. And you for sure found your people. So go check out the trailer to hear more about my origin story and why I work exclusively with women like us. If you are not new here, welcome back, you sexy little business weirdo. Quick favor before we get into it. If this podcast helps you in any way, shape, or form, go leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple or Spotify. I read every single one. I'm very nosy. And every month, one of you who does a review gets a written Instagram audit for me for free, $0.00, where I'm looking at your basic messaging, bio content, calls to action, who you're talking to, and tell you where I see people maybe disconnected or dropping off, because usually I can see it very quickly. And it's not because you can't find it, it's because you are too close to see what you can't see because you are too close to it. And I don't just know Instagram, I know marketing, audience psychology, cross platform strategy, and how to grow in a way that works for your fucking brain. I find the gaps in my clients' businesses oftentimes in 30 minutes or less of reading their intake form. So if you want to go ahead and enter, leave a rating and review, screenshot it, DM it to me, or put it in your stories and tag me. Get your ass over to Apple Podcast, Susan, and do the thing. And if you're actually named Susan, what's up, girl? The 2 other ways to get into my universe is the newsletter that is exclusively for women like us, diagnosed later in life. That is called The Frequency, and booking a 30-minute clarity call. This is if you are ready to invest and you want to see what working with me looks like and what program of mine would be your best fit. Book your 30-minute call. I will not be coaching you. We will look at your business, your sticky points. I will tell you what is the best fit, and then we go from there. Also, I am a specialist. I'm a business growth strategist, but I specialize in women with late diagnosed ADHD. So you're who I work with day in and day out. I am like you. So who better to help you than somebody like me? All the links to everything you need to know and get access to are in the show notes. Let's get into today's topic. So we have been told that networking is contrived or icky or forced or any of those type of things. The thing is, though, we have access to the world in our hands. So it does not have to feel that way. It can be more purposeful. So if you've ever opened up a DM and any social media platform or LinkedIn or any of that, and you see like, hi, I'd love to hop on a 15-minute discovery call to learn about your business before even having a conversation with you. Because I would never say something like that unless I'd had a basic conversation with the person, and that's where they were indicating it was going. Because then this just cold anything, my soul just leaves my body. It just leaves. And if you feel that way, keep listening, because this episode is definitely for you. So you hear cold DMing or let's hop on a call before knowing anything about the other person or before asking any questions, or they haven't asked you anything at all. They're just jumping in, asking for something from you before having a conversation. For me, that's a hard no, right? But anything that includes like name tag networking, elevator pitches, sliding in the DMs with a feigned interest. I fucking hate that stuff. I don't like it. And we're not going to discuss any of that today. ADHD friendly networking is none of that. It's being a fucking person. We can do that. I know that sometimes the way that we maneuver through the world is a little bit different, but that does not mean we cannot connect with people, period. Take what you need, leave the rest. Have some discernment. Everyone who comes into my world, I do not only look at them and think client, prospective client. No, that's not what I see ever. Because I know they may end up being a business friend. They may hire me down the road. I don't know. They might refer me to somebody else because they followed me to save it to share with another person. I message people and say hello, but I do not go like all in and start promoting myself. The most I'll do is offer a link to the podcast or to my newsletter. That's it. Then I do the weirdest thing. I go in without expectation. I'm just a fucking person and I care about other people and use my natural curiosity. to get to know them. So stop networking for something and start networking to connect with people. The business will come, and it will come more often than not when you stop trying to make it come and start growing your network of people. Also, this is easier for our brains because in a lot of ways we're naturally curious. The normie playbook will fight against everything that makes our brains like naturally good at connecting. If natural curiosity is a challenge for you, then you may need a different solution here. But for the most part, we tend to be naturally curious. So use it to your advantage. Now, when I say stop looking at everyone like a client or a prospective client, here's what I want you to do. If you need to put them somewhere, need to like understand how to differentiate or what it is that because your brain just works that way. Everyone on your page is one of four things. They fall into one of four buckets. They're a new business sister, somebody you genuinely click with, no agenda. You made each other laugh one day. One of you said something in your stories, the other responded in the DMs. You had a back and forth. Business sisters. Those are great people to have because you may just need to chat about business with people who aren't in your life day to day, unless they own businesses too, because not everybody understands certain things about business or nuance or whatever. And that's not a problem. It's just you do need those people to speak with as well who just really get it. A possible client, of course, some of them are possible clients. They might have been sent to me, referred to me, etc. Another is networking and a referral source. So the person who sends you business and vice versa. Vice versa. By the way, I send a lot of business a lot of people's way because of no other reason than I believe they'd be a good fit. I maybe there are other people who do not have that kind of time to connect people, but I'm telling you, if you take the kind of time it takes to make connections like this, you will be working a lot less. And the final is not just a referral source and somebody to network with to get clients for you, but somebody you can refer people to. That was the other part. The last one is someone who's not a fit in any way, shape, or form. They will usually see themselves out when they realize you're not for them and vice versa. And don't take it personally. I know I can say that and you're like, yeah, right, Karrie, no, don't take it personally. It's not so serious. It's not so serious, okay? So you may in your brain, your inner asshole may be saying that you'll make less money when you're not focusing on somebody just being a client, right? Like go for the jugular. Are you a client? In sales. Everybody sells differently, okay? But that's bullshit. Your network carries a lot more long-term sustainability inside of it, period. Yes, of course, you'll address them as if they could be a client, but only looking at them in that way is going to cap your revenue straight up. The goal is to become a referral magnet, one that gives referrals and gets them often, who connects other people with people. I sometimes will see two business people and I'll be like, these two need to know each other. And I don't always know why. I just know they do. And I connect them. And eventually I find out why. They just were supposed to know each other. They were supposed to work with each other. One was supposed to help the other. That will pay off in dividends without you ever trying to have the intention of it paying off. It's just being a person. Let me tell you a little bit of how this has kind of worked for me personally. I was in a group that a friend of mine was leading. I talk about myself, shared just a little bit of my own personal experience. There was a person in the group that I'd never had a discussion with that was very deep. She followed me and before I had any time to have a conversation with her, she booked a call with me and then she hired me because I put myself in rooms to network with other people. And that's my objective. That's it. Just network, get to know other people, see other businesses and cool things that people are doing out in the world. It's really, really fun participating and just being me. Can we do that 24/7, 365? No, you don't need to. It's intentional. You get to be intentional with your energy and where you put it, making sure that you're getting a return on that energy that is worth it for you, right? People are going to hire people they trust. Trust is built in a few ways by continuing to show up and they see that you run a stable business, not having an agenda. Or if you ask them about something in your business, like you ask them for an offer, if they're interested in something and they say no, don't act like a cold asshole afterwards. Keep talking to them. Don't make it don't be rude. Don't be rude. Keep having a conversation. Don't make it feel uncomfortable for them or you, because that sucks. I know that's happened to me. I fucking hate it. Don't pretend you're interested in talking to me. Get the ask over first and then have a conversation. It's just one of those things where that is a preference. And it's what I do. It's what I do as well, because I feel like it's like, let me just cut to the chase on this part and then we'll go and talk about the rest later. So here's a few ways this can look in practice for you that you can just take and run. Just take and run. And these may be things you've thought of and haven't tried. And you get confirmation like, yeah, this might be something you want to look into, or a new idea. Or you're like, oh, I didn't think about it, or I didn't think about it that way. Because you may have thought of some of these things, but not in the way I present them. So being in a room where people who you are looking for exist, being where they are and showing up, whether that's in person or virtually. So if it's virtually, it's commenting, answer questions, be present. Don't just show up and market. Be a person. Take a little, give a little, have some reciprocity. Voice note somebody whose work moves you in some way. No pitch, no, here's what you did that you can do for me. Nothing, no intention. Hey, I heard your podcast. This part really fucking kicked me in the ding ding. I just wanted to let you know. That's it. Now, don't make it up, but if you were listening to a podcast with somebody who you've never talked to, here's a conversation starter, because it's also it's also real. This could be the person you end up you're possibly supposed to be connecting with. All right. Be the super connector. Be a super connector. Introduce two people who should know each other. Tag a peer when something is up their alley. Refer business away from yourself when it's not a fit. Give before you get. That is a magnet. Not ask. Beat someone over the head until they submit. That ain't it. You give of yourself and have that reciprocity. It's energy. It's energy back and forth. Sometimes it's literal energy. Sometimes it's money. That's the energy exchange, but it's energy. After this episode, go interact with 3 people for no other reason than to ask them questions about them and be curious. No business talk unless they go there. Connect with somebody you've been thinking, oh, wow, I really dig that person, or, oh, that person has really thoughtful things to say, or something like that. Like somebody you genuinely want to make a connection with that maybe you wanted to and didn't. Like, make those connections. 3 human beings, no motive, no, by the way, I have an offer. If you're not able to reach out to another human being without trying to sell something, that's the first place to start looking. I'm not saying don't have sales on your mind. I'm saying if that's the only thing you're doing, that's short-term gain over long-term growth. Which do you want? You get to choose. You get to choose how many people you talk to and who you talk to and how clean you keep your digital porch. That's all you, right? But if you can't just have a conversation anymore because of maybe training you've had or other businesses you've owned or other business types you've been in, take a moment and go in with no ulterior motive. Let somebody else do that with you as well. So next Wednesday is episode 200. Don't tell anybody. It's a secret. It's episode 200 next week. Now, there's more than 200 listings here, but I've had 200 original. This is original 200th episode. Then we'll be back to the final of this series, part 4. And we're going to talk about borrowing audiences. If you've never heard of this, you're definitely going to want to come back because this is one of the fastest ways to get warm humans into your world without only having to think about the algorithm or making a single new piece of content. Plus, I'm going to give you a bonus about referrals that not many people are doing very well. So you definitely do not want to miss the finale. And with that, we're done with today's episode. Here is the part of the podcast where I double dog dare you to do one thing after the episode because we can't say no to a double dog dare. And beside the action step, of course, I want you to DM me at Karrie Out Loud on Instagram and tell me the number one thing in your business that feels the most sticky right now. What is feeling difficult? Are you at a revenue pass you just can't push, a revenue ceiling you can't push past, or you can't get to a certain number, or you are really feeling like your self-trust is lacking, or you are feeling like this massive decision fatigue and you can't make another decision to save your life right now because it feels like pulling teeth? Or are you an accidental entrepreneur building the plane while flying it and you're really ready to become more intentional? You may also be overcomplicating everything because it feels safer, but it's not. It's not. And I don't care if you're a thousandaire or 100,000aire or running $1 million business. Talk to me. I understand growth strategy and ADHD brains, personally and professionally. Tell me which episode you listened to and where you saw yourself. Send it. I read every single one, and one DM can change a lot for you and your life. For realies, like for realies. So go send it. Go send it. I got you. And till next time I see you, I got you. Go connect with 3 humans every day this week for no other fucking reason than just to connect and start watching what happens in your offers. It's going to blow your fucking mind. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. You'll see. And I'm rooting for you always. Stay feral, motherfucker. See you next time. Bye.